Welcome. I'm Cleona Patterson at efluentenglish.com. This video is part of mini course 3, Write IELTS Task 2 Essays. Vocabulary is worth 25%, so we need to build it every day, word by word, phrase by phrase. Let's read an article. It's called 9 Sneaky Symptoms of High Blood Sugar. Sneaky. Do you know the verb sneak? I can sneak up behind someone very quietly and surprise them. Sneaky is the adjective. Sneaky symptoms. So imagine these symptoms, these signs or indicators that you have a health problem, sneak up on someone. They don't notice them. They don't see them until often it's too late. 9 sneaky symptoms of high blood sugar. I'm going to put the link in a description below the video so you can go and read the full article. If you're like me, I have a mom who has type 2 diabetes, so these kinds of articles are particularly interesting for me because I could inherit this disease. Yeah. As you read the article, you will find out lots of information that's important for you or your friends or family for their health. So we're doing two things. We're learning about our health and we're building our English skills. We're building our English vocabulary. Let's read the first paragraph. Diabetes is called a silent killer because it doesn't happen overnight. Look at this sentence. Silent killer. Do you see the quotation marks? Well, they're not quotation. Quotation is 2 little marks. This has 1 little mark on each side. Silent killer. This is a name that we give to diabetes. We refer to it, and that's why we put the 2 little marks. Is called. Is that active or passive? Is called. It's passive. Yeah? Because everyone calls it this. That's one of the reasons why we use the passive. It's a general way of referring to something. Is called. A silent killer. Why? Because it doesn't happen overnight. Look at the word overnight. You know the word over, you know the word night, put them together. Overnight. Second sentence. It is a silent, insidious disease that can gradually creep up on you so subtly that you may not notice it is happening. Okay, let's look at the word insidious. Look at the verb creep. Subtly. Look at this combination of words. Insidious, creep, subtly. What do you think insidious means? Try to guess from the context. Insidious. Listen carefully to my pronunciation and repeat the word. Insidious. If I open up the dictionary, I see insidious is an adjective. It means proceeding in a gradual, subtle way, but with harmful effects. For example, sexual harassment is a serious and insidious problem. So imagine something is moving slowly, gradually, subtle. If we go back to the sentence, we see that the writer used subtle in the sentence, but with very harmful effects. If something's harmful, it's doing damage. Let's read the sentence again. It is a silent, insidious disease that can gradually creep up. Creep up. On you, because creep, it has to creep up on someone. So subtly. When we looked at the word insidious in the dictionary, it said subtle, and now we have subtly, because this is the adverb describing the verb. An adverb always describes a verb, and the verb is creep. That you may not notice, may. This is the modal verb. It's a possibility. You may not, you might not, you could not. In this example, may is the most appropriate modal verb. You may not notice it is happening. With the increasing proliferation of sugar and sweeteners added to foods, it's especially hard to avoid added sugars. Proliferation. What do you think that word means? Look at the context. Look at the sentence. What goes before the word? What goes after the word? Proliferation. I go to the dictionary. Proliferation. It's a noun. It means rapid increase in the number or amount of something. Example, a continuing threat of nuclear proliferation. Let's go back to our sentence and see how it's used in context. With the increasing proliferation, so the amount or the number is increasing very, very quickly, rapidly. With the increasing proliferation of sugar and sweeteners added to foods, it's especially hard to avoid added sugars. Many foods that you would never consider as sweet. You see again, they use the two little marks because this is how many people describe the food. Sweet have a surprising amount of sugar added. Even something as seemingly minor as ingesting just one soda or fruit juice a day can increase the odds of developing diabetes up to 80%. Do you have a soft drink every day? It's got lots of sugar. I had a friend who had half a liter of orange juice every morning, and she wondered why she was carrying a lot of weight. She didn't realize that the bought carton of orange juice had so much sugar. She thought she was doing something very healthy. Okay, in this paragraph, there's lots of modal verbs. When you use modals, it opens something up to possibility, to discussion. Look at the words. What did we learn? Insidious, subtle, proliferation. Add them to your vocabulary list. This article is talking about health. In the IELTS Task 2 essay, you may be writing about health. You may be writing about other topics. Think about how you could use these words to talk about other topics. Write them in your vocabulary book. Write the examples. Go back and read all of the article. When you're reading, notice how sentences are written. How are they constructed? Look at the vocabulary. Look at the grammar. And then notice how one sentence flows or is connected to the next sentence until you have a paragraph. This is Cleona at efluentenglish.com. Mini course 3, Write IELTS Task 2 Essays. Check out my website, efluentenglish.com. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.